ஹாலிடேஸ்னாலே நம்ம ஜிடி ஹாலிடேஸ் தான். சவுத் இந்தியாஸ் நம்பர் 1 டிராவல் பிராண்ட். தலைசிறந்த திருமண நகைகளின் பிரத்யேக அணிவகுப்பு ஸ்ரீகுமரன் தங்க மாளிகை.
ஜெயச்சந்திரன் டெக்ஸ்டைல்ஸ் இப்பொழுது தாம்பரத்திலும் ஒவ்வொரு பர்ச்சேஸ்க்கும் ஒரு பரிசு நிச்சயம்.
Hello and welcome to Galata Plus. In this video review episode, we are going to be talking about Shashank Soghal's Daredevil Musthafa. The film is a laid-back charmer filled with newcomers, and it covers up its flaws with a massive dose of can-do spirit. Now that's the short review. A more detailed review follows. There may be spoilers, so do watch at your own discretion. Now, very early in Daredevil Musthafa, we see this line. For the first time, the fans of a writer have produced a film. The writer is Poornachandra and the fans are those who crowdfunded this film directed by Shashank Soghal. Poornachandra is seen in a black and white interview clip where he says that colleges have a great future. He then adds a disclaimer, but when I see them at the forefront of communal violence, I wonder if they have a future. That's the crux of the narrative. It's about the fear of the other, which leads to suspicion and hate and anger, and if unchecked, leads to communal violence. The other in the story, populated by names like Shankara and Sampath Kumar and Ramanuja, arrives in the form of Musthafa. When he enters the classroom, there's a collective gasp, as though an alien has been sighted. In a lovely touch, his name is so long that it has to be scrunched up while being written in the attendance register. And this leads to people trying to decipher the unintelligible name as though in a Sherlock Holmes mystery. It's not just the name that is unintelligible. In the small fictional town named Abachuru, everything about Muslims is a mystery that needs a Sherlock Holmes to decipher. From their food to the jobs they take up to their festivals, everything is a mystery. The Hindu boys in the college, that is everybody except Musthafa, they are not evil. Look at the stretch where 4 of them go into hiding and even contemplate suicide because of such a silly reason. They're just innocents, and the resistance to Musthafa comes from ignorance. Musthafa, played by Shishir Baikadi, is an outsider in more ways than one. He's also from another town. So these Hindu boys, they've never had Muslim friends, and in one boy's case, there's a deeper, more personal reason. We get a hint about this in a wonderful scene where he puts on his shoes and the camera at foot level gazes at a pair of slippers that has clearly been unused for a while. It's tucked away near the wall like a distant memory. The most famous, or at least the most legend-making crowd-funded film in Kannada cinema is, of course, Pawan Kumar's Lucia from exactly 10 years ago. Daredevil Musthafa is not as accomplished a movie. The technical aspects are solid but basic. The performances and the episodic screenplay are broad. During the half-hour cricket match at the end, we get a few boys grinning evil grins at the camera so that we know they are up to no good. The scenes could have been tighter. This is not about the 2-hour, 40-minute length of the film, but about the looseness of some of the writing. But the major strength of Daredevil Musthafa is its innocence, its low-key charm. Instead of a feature film, we get the feel of a Parents' Day skit done by a bunch of super enthusiastic students. You really get the feeling of being lost in a particular place and a particular time. And it's refreshing to see the messaging come right out of the events rather than being put out as preachy dialogues. Note the way Musthafa is mocked for not being able to recite a Kannada poem, after which he makes it a point to improve himself. It would have been so easy to milk the situation for sympathy, but what we are told instead is that feeling sorry for oneself is useless. This is positive messaging of the finest kind. The story's antagonist, so to speak, is Ramanuja Ayingari, played by Aditya Ashri, and he's the conduit for everything the film has to say about religious tolerance. And yet, the writing takes care to show why he is this way, and one of his final scenes involving a family photograph is genuinely heartfelt. There are plenty of laughs that remind us of our own days in school and college, but the ending isn't about they all lived happily ever after. Something happens that makes us wince. If only things had ended differently. That unresolved emotion is what many short stories leave us with. We want things to be wrapped up in a neat little bow, but life isn't always like that. So that's it about Daredevil Musthafa. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galata Plus and see you soon at the movies.
ஹாலிடேஸ்னாலே நம்ம ஜிடி ஹாலிடேஸ் தான். சவுத் இந்தியாஸ் நம்பர் 1 டிராவல் பிராண்ட். தலைசிறந்த திருமண நகைகளின் பிரத்யேக அணிவகுப்பு ஸ்ரீகுமரன் தங்க மாளிகை.
ஜெயச்சந்திரன் டெக்ஸ்டைல்ஸ் இப்பொழுது தாம்பரத்திலும் ஒவ்வொரு பர்ச்சேஸ்க்கும் ஒரு பரிசு நிச்சயம்.